Well. Hello, everybody. Another day of some really intense esports. Well, we're talking about the ESL India Premiership 2018 Summer Seasons' Master League, brought to you by Omen by HP HyperX. And Angie,
Yes,
we've got Intel also as one of our sponsors.
definitely.
I was checking you.
I was going to tell you that you forgot to mention Intel, but then you brought
I
it
was
up, so
checking
that's
you. It was a ploy here. Well, ladies and gentlemen, these were our amazing sponsors. In fact, apart from that, all of the Salabaloo has been presented to you by the lovely folks, which also includes this amazing woman here, Angela, who's our co-host and analyst here.
Yes.
And all of this has been brought to you by Norton Gaming and ESL India. So, in the offing, we have three amazing games as usual: Clash Royale, CSGO, Dota 2. Nothing really interesting about them unless and until we talk about the people involved in it. And by the people, I mean the players. So, let's start off with the first player, Mukul 8-Bit Achal. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that's Mukul 8-Bit Achal here, member of the Masters League, and totally striving to be up there in the top. But sadly, it just so turns out we have so many beasts of sorts.
Definitely. I mean, as of now, if you look at Mukul, he is sitting sixth on the board. He's played about 8 games. He's won 4 of them, and he's lost 3. So now he's struggling a little bit with 7 games played. If he wins this, of course, it'll be his 5th victory. And also, he is defending champion from the winter season. So hoping to see whether he'll be able to take this game strongly. I have a lot, a lot for this player because, see, Mukul was, first of all, Mukul, he always thinks out of the box. He has always played cards that I've never expected him to play. Even like we spoke about recently how we played the Sparky as a defending card. So if he does that against Satikshan, he could break Satikshan's win streak, and that would be very, very nice to see how he actually plans to do that, because Satikshan hasn't really lost anything till now.
Yeah, indeed. It'll be really fun to see. I don't mean to say that Mukul 8-Bit Achal is any less of a good player. It's just that in comparison to Satikshan B Joshi, everybody seems like an underdog. Like, I mean, for all we know, for Christ's sake, Mrinmoy Lakar is like down there.
Yeah.
Like,
Arpan
8-Bit
struggled
won
against
the winter season finale.
Yeah.
He is behind Satikshan B Joshi. So, that would be a sight to see. In fact, since we've spoken so much about Satikshan B Joshi, let's put a face to that name. Satikshan B Joshi, ladies and gentlemen, hails from the state of J&K and the region of Leh and Ladakh.
Yes.
And she remembers the last time she said Satikshan B Joshi very coolly, casually, hi, it's from Jammu
and
Kashmir. Totally forgot for a second that apparently Leh and Ladakh is also an extension of the state. It's okay. Everybody makes that mistake, Angie. I'm not holding that grudge against you.
I mean, you would know a lot about...
How would I know a lot about it? I've never stepped foot in that land, and it's supposed to be like my native land. But sadly, I was born brought up in UP, so...
But anyway, talking about this player, as of now, he does sit second on the board. He's been undefeated, 5 games down. He's played against the best of the best, whether we talk about Arpan, we talk about Marin, we talk about Devil's Twin. He's really made sure that he's been able to stay on the top. I also see that this player is going to mostly make it to the land finale, and if he does, it'll be really nice to see whether he's going to continue the same kind of incredible performance that he's showcasing online, even on land.
Indeed. I mean, our viewers can see the standings right now, and they can see it for themselves how meticulously this guy has ensured that Satikshan B Joshi right now, he's literally pulling off a brutality.
Yeah.
Until they met SRA or Entity Gaming after that. But it's a good run. Satikshan has a lot of games still in his kitty in comparison to Arpan or a Sushil Abhisha, who played like 9 and 8 games respectively. In fact, me and Gautam were that day discussing about Manmohan Mehtab Singh, who lost his 3rd game yesterday. So
Yeah.
he's played 3 games. He still has a lot of leg space to cover up if he manages to do that. Otherwise, it's going to be a tough time for him because the last 4 candidates of any Masters League post
Yeah.
the summer season land finale, they get relegated down to the Challenger, and the top 4 of the Challenger climb up to the Masters. So that's like whoosh, swap.
There's somehow, but there's something about all these particular players. Whether you talk about Manmohan in general, also he's kind of now seen all the players play against other players. He's kind of understood how everybody plays against each other, and I think that way somewhere he's on a much higher foot coming into this part, because he's only played 3 games. He has about another 9 games to play, or even more than that. And if that is so, he can actually just go back on our ESL YouTube channel, watch everybody's games, and kind of figure out who are the toughest ones he has to beat, which of them kind of play against his deck really well, which don't. And I feel that's why Manmohan has a much higher chance of making it to the top faster, even though he has lesser time to make it
Yeah,
there.
he's
He
got
has
he's
more
got
in
some
his
good
kitty.
games to take a look at
Yes.
and be better at them. That's like homework done well,
Yeah.
in a way of speaking. So what do you have to say about today's game? I mean, we are yet to see the banned cards. In fact, let's get the banned cards right now first, before we head on to the players.
Okay, so the Golem gets a ban there. I don't really see Sutikshan playing the Golem that much, so this is just that Mukul just doesn't want to play against the Golem
He
card, and
doesn't
that's
want
good one
that
way.
Golem push.
That also says that he somewhere wants to use the Pekka and the Expo card quite a bit, because he does like that combination. Meanwhile, Sutikshan going to just ban out the Goblins, making sure that Mukul doesn't really go against his Goblin draft, because he does like to play the Goblins quite a bit, whether it's a Spear, it's the normal Goblin gang. If you look at their trophies, very similar where you're about, say, 100k lead by Satikshan, but other than that,
True,
they seem to be
but
pretty
again,
fine.
I want to draw your attention to something very
Yeah.
interesting here. If you take a closer look at these cards, take a look at the second last stat there.
Yeah.
3 crown wins. If you see the amount of games they've played, the matches played, 13,000 for 8-bit Mukul and 9,600 for Beast. It's a very minor difference in terms of the amount of
True.
games played, but the
The
amount of
crowns.
3 crown victories here for Satikshan Joshi and for 8-bit Mukul
It's
in comparison to the
almost 100% more.
it's double. It's
Yeah.
double to that of Beast. And the amount of matches they've played is not like, halfway there. Like Sutikshan is not like halfway behind 8-bit
Yeah.
Achal. It's just about the fact that it shows how much of effort you've put in the game to ensure that you solidify your victory. Satikshan Beast Joshi is a fast lad. He's an agile chap.
Yeah.
He needs if you see all his games, he doesn't. So I believe, it's my opinion, you can correct me if I'm
Yeah.
wrong. I personally believe that there are kind of players who prefer going for a 3 crown victory because it satisfies their, I don't want to use the word ego,
Yeah.
because I'm not saying that they're egoistic. I'm just trying to say it's like for their inner satisfaction. Man ki
True.
shanti ke
You
liye.
get the whole cake rather than
Yeah.
just a piece of it.
Yeah. Sutikshan is like the agile chap. He wants to get done with it. He wants to win fast,
True.
whether it's like a 1 crown victory or 2 crown victory. He wants that victory more than the 3 crown victory.
And that
Whereas-
is, he follows that also quite a lot in his games. I mean, once he takes down that first star, he's just concentrating on defense. He doesn't really look at, I've finished one tower, let me go for the other one.
Exactly.
He just likes to be very patient with his cards. And I think that's why he's always been able to come forward.
Yes.
Because aggression and taking down the tower, okay, you got that right. But what about your defense? If you're
True.
going to not hold that defense the correct way, you are going to fail. And he's made sure that that mistake has never been really made by him.
And apart from that, it's a lot to do about the confidence level, because a lot of people, when they get the first the Princess Tower,
Yeah.
they have an option of either like defending like a Sutikshan Beast Joshi, or they
Yeah.
have an option to split push, like do an aggressive push from the
Yeah.
tower which has gone down, and then take. It's kind of like being greedy, because
Yeah.
you know that you're like kind of like there but not entirely there, so you don't want to like you want to like solidify your victory further, add insult to injury.
Yeah.
And that, in a lot of cases, ends up being the downfall of the
That is
aggressor.
absolutely true.
I mean, it works in a lot of matches in the fact that it goes against the aggressor and the games get overturned. Suddenly you see, oh, what's happening?
Yeah.
I have a different kind of scene altogether. I've lost my own tower in the process. So that becomes a problem.
Yeah.
So, well, that's what we have from the studio when it comes to our players and the game at hand. Why don't we move to the game itself? Gotham Workaholic Work, my gentle giant, adorable and fluffy, is going to be taking this game forward. So over to you, Workaholic.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We're back with another day of Clash Royale casting, and this is Gotham Workaholic. Where I think Vagish just nicely called me fat, and I don't know how to take that, so he just said fluffy, aka fat. So I don't know, but we have good game in the offing here. We have 8-bit Mukul versus the Beast. Beast unbeatable till now. Let's see if Mukul can put a dent in his winning streak. If anyone could, I think Arpan and Mukul are the top contenders for putting dents. And Arpan did try very well. It came very close, however, not able to close the victory. It did go to the last game altogether, but Beast managed to secure the victory here. So Beast, actually Mukul gets another chance to beating Beast here. So here we go. Beast unbeatable versus Mukul, who actually won the LAN event recently in December, the winter finale of last year. So this is going to be quite an interesting game. We see a few units here and there. We actually saw that Prince getting stopped by a silly skeleton who could not actually get a direct hit on the tombstones. So a lot of back and forth here. Mukul going for skeleton barrel, which is going to be spawning a lot of units if the moment it blows up. And of course a decent tank as well. So here comes the big push. We've been seeing a lot of Dark Goblin lately, and look at that King Tower bringing a lot of help in there, doing extra damage to the miner. So that'll be helping him out a lot throughout the game. Beast off to a great start, I would have to say, but does take a lot more damage on the tower on the right. Beast has the right kind of card to actually a deck to deal with the situation he is in. Poison will be one of those deterrents actually, which he'll be using constantly on that tombstone or defensively. We'll see how it comes out. There you go. Finally, the poison comes out, getting the tombstone as well, and consistently doing some chip damage on that tower. Mukul is coming out fairly well in this, and here comes the Hog Rider and the Fireball alongside. Prince actually spawns in fire. Actually, Prince spawned in the hell of that fire. So anyways, interesting big push coming in, and Log has been taken out of the rotation here. So the skeletons will get a free reign. No, immediately swept away thanks to that Nado. King Tower helping out, of course, a lot. It seems like Mukul has a very simple strategy. He wants to poison this tower down eventually, as much as holding back these pushes that will be coming at him. He has baited the Log out early, so Goblin Gang will be there to make some work out of this. And here comes the Hog Rider, which has been a little pesky so far, is always consistently getting a few hits in. However, now down to 200 health, Mukul's game could be changed around. Let's see how he's able to hold this. 200 health left on the clock there. And another Hog Rider coming in to close this game. Nothing will contest that Hog Rider coming in. Boom. Takes the hammer, blocks it down on the Prince's Tower, and secures the first victory for Beast. Beast being absolutely beast so far. Taking that 1-0 lead right in the beginning. So will we see Beast being an absolute beast and going through all the Master League players without losing a best of 5, or Mukul stands a chance of coming back and making something happen? So let's find out in the next game, game 2 of this best of 5. Let's talk more about the bans here while these guys are aggressively placing units here and there. Bans, we have the Goblin Barrel being banned by Beast, and we have the Golem being banned. Now, interesting thing about the Golem ban, I'm thinking maybe it's a good way to kind of take out the Inferno Dragon out of the picture here, because, you know, not a lot of use left for Inferno Dragon. But we of course have other heavy cards as well, which we have not been seeing a lot lately. What we have not seen lately is the big skeleton that carries a bomb. Yes, the giant skeleton. We've not been seeing a lot of him. I'm not sure what's going on there. I used to really like that card, but I think it's completely out of the meta here. So quite interesting deck by Beast actually. He's quite a mix of units. He has the Royal Ghost, the Flying Barrel, and on Mukul's side he has the Mortar. So Mortar is going to be interesting if he gets a good good placement on that mortar. I think he can do a lot of damage. So far, I think he's been using it pretty defensively. Here we go, another defensive mortar being placed down. I want to see if the ball actually hits. No, it actually doesn't hit the goblin. They're too fast for the mortar. Another unit to keep an eye out for is Beast Archer. But I don't see a lot of heavy units on Mukul's side, so I don't think Archer will be able to, go through the units and hit the tower, because there's never going to be these slow-moving units that you can do a well-placement Archer on. So quite a mix of cards here, and it's quite interesting, this match. I actually understand so far. What I see is Mukul is kind of going for the chip. He has the mortar he can use defensively also. I would love to see it being used a bit more offensively. However, the point here has been fairly simple. Chip away at his opponent and hopefully close the game. And let's see who will come out ahead. Mukul, bleeding some elixir there, decides to put down the mortar finally. Will be able to hit that miner eventually and take him down as well. So consistently pushing across different sides, fairly cheap units, spawning a lot of skeletons there who are trying to do some damage on the tower. However, will be able to bring it down 1700 health. Finally, the mortar has now locked on to that building, bringing in some value, doing a lot of damage. Will be able to close that before dying. So good stuff coming out there. Beast is trying his best to kind of get some damage in towards Mukul, but Mukul seems very consistent with defending his tower as well. So bit of an advantage going towards Mukul right now, because those miners consistently are going behind and chipping away at that tower. So it's going to be quite interesting. I don't see how this game is going anywhere. This is quite an intense game of chip. And here comes the poison. Will quickly clear out the skeletons as well. But the value the miner is bringing in, it's amazing actually. The miner has been throughout bringing a lot of value for this deck. And look at the mortar. It's just like, I really don't like that goblin hut actually, and barbarian hut. And there's a goblin hut right behind him actually, doing some key damage there. So a lot of units on the field right now. He could be in trouble. Beast might see a loss coming in for him. Will not be able to hold for 2 minutes. I think a poison, actually no, Mukul doesn't have a poison. It is Beast who has a poison. So I think another great push with the miner coming in. Will be able to close this game. Yes, it does. Miner finally closes the game. MVP of this match has been the miner. 1-1 is the score. Mukul has evened out the game now. And to add mystery to this, I'll say it again in this voice. Can Mukul defeat Beast? Can it finally happen? Is today the day where Beast sees his first loss? We don't know. And I guess we will find out soon enough. It's a best of 5. 1-1 is the score. Let's get into the next game right about now. Game is live. You see some changes in the deck by Mukul. And Beast has actually opted for his own mortar now. It's a quite interesting mortar. Taking some damage. Is able to hold its own. Thanks to this ice golem actually. Getting few key hits in mortars. Now finally locked on to that tower. Will be trying to bring that down. This is quite interesting to see how Beast has actually copied Mukul's deck completely in this case, which he must have been a big fan of. The Skellies will come out and will clear out the goblin hut there quickly. And now I guess it's just going to be a same slow-paced game where people are just trying to chip away. There's no big, scary cards that we're going to be seeing. So here comes the mortar doing its best. Pressurized from both sides, protected. I think the mortar is pretty... it might be out of range of that goblin hut, by the way. But the miner's here to clear out the goblin hut. No. Does get more splash damage on the hut. It was out of range, but thanks to that unit, it was able to get the slash damage down on that hut. So pretty good value coming out. But this is what Beast was not expecting. Look at that. There is a minor poison, a graveyard and poison coming out. However, he held on to that pretty well, only taking a little bit damage. I think that key zap really helped him out. Really, his plan right now is to kind of use the mortar to do damage to the tower. However, every single time he's not able to get a nice connect. Always distracted. That mortar is always direct. Finally locks in. What's going on here? We are seeing the mortar actually not targeting the tower still. It was quite interesting. I thought mortar had connected to the tower, but I guess there was just a couple of key units in front that the mortar was targeting at this point. So mortar, another mortar down. This is quite a slow and methodical push. This is pretty slow, but here comes a big push on the right, and Beast needs to hold. Anything he puts down will be eaten away by the poison. However, look at the placement of the goblins there, just out of range of poison, but the damage is done. This is some serious damage taken, and 23 seconds left on the clock. Mukul can really close this game really quickly if he rotates and does his unit placement correctly. A very nice Electro Wizard coming down, clearing out a lot of these units. And I think this is going to be a GG soon, and he has enough elixir to push on the right, and he should about drop it right now, playing a little bit safer. Doesn't want to kind of go all in because that balloon has popped and a lot of skellies have come out, and Miner has also come out, trying to get something done, not able to close this game, and more and more pressure is being put on him, and finally kind of decides to go all in. And here comes the Poison Graveyard combo, and this will clear out the tower just about now. Game 3 going in favor of Mukul, and he is finally in the lead. Beast could end up getting a loss. Finally. Who knows? He had quite a streak going, by the way, till now. He's not lost a single game, and Beast could potentially see a loss coming in for him if he decides to throw another game. Not that I'm saying he's throwing, but I'm like, he loses another game. And Mukul showing why he is one of the best and why he deserves the respect, even though he's not really high on that charts right now. But he will be after beating Beast if he does end up beating him. So, best of 5, score 2-1. Mukul just needs one more game to close this series of 5, and Beast needs to win 2 more games in a row if he wants to hold on to his #1 spot of not losing a single game. I've been actually noticing a lot of these low elixir decks are there where you have a Nado to defend against any funny things coming at your tower. Both of them actually opting for a Hog Rider here. Mukul has a cannon defensively. I'm yet to see if Beast has any of those defensive buildings to kind of shoo away the Hog Rider, which will he has of course he has a tombstone already placed, but if Mukul takes care of that tombstone, there's only a Nado stopping him from hitting that tower, by the way. So it'll be quite interesting match here. Both of the guys opting for a Hog Rider, and finally a Hog Rider is revealed. A big Hog Rider coming in, distracted by the cannon. Cannon now finally connects on the Hog Rider, will be bringing it down. A fireball coming in, but the Musketeer still alive, still doing damage, and the log will finally roll in and kill the Musketeer. And we've kind of evened out here, but the Hog Rider's in and the Tombstone is in also. Nice distraction. That's a lot of skeletons now knocking on the door of Mukul. Mukul needs to... This is almost like that skeleton spell actually. The skeleton army was pretty much spawned out there, so good for him. He had to put down a few units to stop that big push. Both the guys even on Elixir. Beast is leading by a single Elixir, but will he bleed? No, he will not. Very efficient use of the Elixir. And now puts down an Ice Wizard. And does he put down a Prediction Fireball there? Not working out for him, but the log will be there. Actually, it did work out for him. He did hit the Musketeer. Now, good move by Beast here, activating the King Tower. Pretty much double damage for him. So good for him. He managed to pull in the Hog Rider and activate his tower. Both of these guys going for a similar kind of build. Nice hit on the tower again. These guys are slowly chipping away at their opponent's tower. So Mukul will really need to keep an eye out on how he's placing the units. And Hog Rider's actually gone. Okay, good. That log completely missed. That was a really bad log, by the way. However, still connecting to the musketeer, still doing the chip damage to the tower. He's fireballed that tower at least 6 times now and logged it about 4 or 5 times also. So this has been a constant push, and the Hog Rider not able to come through and connect to the tower. However, this game is super close. Both the guys kind of going for the similar kind of build. They want to fireball and they want to log the tower there. And here comes the log, defensively used. A nice distraction, very nice fireball there. Hog Rider was able to get a single hit there, so nice for him. And here comes the Beast Hog Rider, who will not make it through and get a hit. Very well played there by Mukul. And now it's his game to defend. Nice distraction coming in. A fireball also coming in. Does connect to the tower. And I think with the rotations coming in and the lead that Mukul have over his opponent there, I think his fireballs will eventually close the game for him. So a few more fireballs and this is game over. Nice distraction coming in. Fireball still available for Mukul. Throws down the log, connects, bringing the tower health down to 8-10. Fireball again available. I like how Beast is placing his units far away from the tower. Does not want to engage with his opponent close to the tower because he knows Fireball is around. Mukul thinking whether he wants to throw the Fireball. Has to use the Fireball defensively because he had to take the health down of both of these units. Very intense and close game. However, I have noticed Beast not able to get his Hog Rider close to the tower, consistently being pushed back. Consistently units are being thrown to stop that Hog Rider. However, Beast has a similar kind of setup as well. He has the Tombstone to distract the Hog Rider from Mukul. And the fireballs now not hitting the towers. This game has kind of gone into this, this stall. And what's going to happen, we don't know right now. And again, finally, Beast getting a fireball through and his Hog Rider getting a hit in the tower there. Great play there. And Mukul now all of a sudden looking like he's in a lot of trouble. Beast could be very fast closing this game in for him. Beast could actually win this game. And I believe this is Beast could easily close this game right now if he gets another Hog Rider and a fireball in. Again, Mukul's fireball used defensively to take away that Tombstone. And here comes Mukul's Hog Rider and distracted, very well distracted there, by the way. And he's getting a free reign on the tower. Will he get a hit? No, so close, yet too far. 500 health left on Mukul's tower. Beast kind of have the lead right now. And here comes the Hog Rider from Mukul, getting another hit and a fireball. Jesus, that was a turnaround. And Mukul now looking like he is a fairly strong position. Beast has to make a decision now. What's he going to do? Another fireball will kill him. And this is good game. Beast played very well and finally going down with only 5 seconds left in overtime. Mukul finally beat the unbeatable Beast. That is Sutikshan Joshi. Wow. And what a game, by the way. This has been an amazing game. Very methodical. Both the players knew what needs to be done. And finally, Mukul beating the unbeatable player so far. Finally putting a loss on the table for Beast. The Beast must be feeling really bad right now. But Mukul, my God, you played like a beast against the Beast. So that was the game of Clash Royale for today. We have exciting Counter-Strike and Dota 2 coming up next. I'm going to send it back to the studio where Vagish and Zara are waiting for my call. Welcome back.
Chile.
That was fantastic. All right.
All right.
First of all, a very big congratulations to Mukul. I mean, he played amazing Clash Royale right now.
Indeed, Angie. I think this now the time is ripe for top players, unbeaten players, to understand that they can be defeated.
Yeah.
Like, remember that thing which I said to you? People at the top in the Masters League have everything to lose. and people coming in from the bottom have everything to win.
Yeah.
They've got nothing to lose. They come with conviction, they come with the confidence, they come with diligence. And that is what this game was about today.
Yes, it was definitely. I mean, just breaking down the game in general, the first game that we saw, Beast took that game for himself. He had amazing aggression coming in from his end. But in the second game, we saw that it was Mukul who kind of took charge of things over there. He made sure that the minor card was played at the right time, and that kind of made so much difference for the game. In the third game, I think Beast got a little too free, I would say, because he kind of just copied Mukul's deck to play it against him. And when you do something like that, you need to understand that that person has played that deck because he knows how to counter that deck. And that is what Mukul basically did in the third game. And the fourth game, this was the game that kind of changed everything. I mean, both these players used the similar pushing card, and that was a Hog Rider. Other than that, everything else was defensive. Whether you talk about the skeletons, you talk about the poison, you talk about so many things, they were just completely defensive. And it was just wittiness coming out. If I'm going to place this, I know he's going to do this, 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 this. He's going to counter it. He's going to make sure that he doesn't have the leverage over me. And the only reason Mukul kind of took that was just at the end of the day, it all depends on the cycle of the cards. And if your cycle comes correctly according to what you're playing, it kind of makes you win the game. And that's basically how he won, because most of the rounds, Beast had the Hawk, but then he did know that Mukul already had the cards to kind of defend against the Hawk. And in the last cycle that we saw where Mukul made that push, there was nothing coming in from Beast to kind of defend that last inch, that 1 second that he needed for the cycle to complete. And that's why he took the game. The first game, if we again go back to the first game, I mean, the only mistake that Mukul had made was that he didn't have a distraction card. He didn't have like a tar card, like a mortar or a cannon, which he kind of again understood. By second and third game, you had both of them bringing in so many distraction cards for the one card that's going to push to the tar. And this is just skillful gameplay. I mean, at the end of the day, if you kind of understand where your mistakes are and you know your opponent's weakness, you kind of definitely can go ahead and defeat them. And Mukul has always done it. And this game is another important way to say that Mukul has played the Sparky, he has played the P.E.K.K.A, he's played so many big cards as defense, but today he didn't choose to do that. He went all old school. He went and picked up the lowest elixir cards, and he defended so beautifully. And that says that also that this player knows all his cards. He knows how to play the game. He knows and understands how his opponents are going to play, and that's always going to keep him at the top, because that is how a veteran player is born. So
Well said, well said. Well, that ends Clash Royale for us, ladies and gentlemen. Don't go anywhere. We'll be back again with some interesting CSGO. And, of course, don't forget while you're at it that there is this, what do you call it? Yeah, the small bell-like button there, right on the stream. Yeah, you got to press that. You got to press that so that you can get notified each and every single time we come to you guys with all the latest updates and all the latest streams when it comes to your favorite sports. When I say sports, I meant esports. I hope we've made that very evidently clear. And also, you can subscribe. You can subscribe to our channel. You'll get all the latest updates. In fact, if you want all the hullabaloo and the, what do they call it? Masala and the inside scoop, then you can go ahead and type esports 360 and follow it. My amazing and vivacious colleague Angela presents it every Monday, Wednesday and Friday at 8 p.m. IST on Nordwind Gaming's Facebook page. Do not forget to check it out and subscribe to it, if in case you want all the latest scoop from Indian esports news and, of course, global too. Yeah. We'll be back again with some really amazing games, CSGO, like I said, and Dota 2 following that. Remember, this is the ESL India